Welcome to this edition of the Native News Update. I'm your host for today's program, Paul DeMain. Many of the stories viewed here can be found at our website at IndianCountryNews.com, where there's lots of other stories to be found that aren't read on the news here. Here are the news stories for the day from the Associated Press and other Native news sources. A former tribal councilman from South Dakota will serve 8 months in federal prison for a New Mexico drug charge. Don Garnier was sentenced last week in Albuquerque, New Mexico, after getting picked up last month in Rapid City, South Dakota, for a positive test for cocaine. Garnier's sentencing has been delayed for outpatient treatment. He and a co-defendant were arrested September 19, 2007, near Rayton, New Mexico, after officers found 21 pounds of marijuana in the trunk of their car. The Oglala Sioux Tribal Council suspended Garnier, and he later resigned. The Seneca Indians of New York are asking a federal judge to make them defendants in a lawsuit that's seeking to shut down their Buffalo casino. The Western New York Indian Nation, because of its sovereign status, is not currently named in the lawsuit by Citizens Against Casino Gambling in Erie County, New York, but in a filing in U.S. District Court in Buffalo, this Monday, leaders argued that the tribe should be allowed to intervene so that it can safeguard its governmental and economic interest in the casino project. The casino opponents have not yet responded. The Senecas operate a temporary casino on the Buffalo site and plan to build a larger permanent facility once the economic picture brightens in the United States. A monument has been dedicated in Sioux Falls, South Dakota for Medal of Honor winner Woodrow Wilson Keeble. The monument was dedicated over the weekend at Veterans Memorial Park. Keeble was awarded the medal in March of 2008, 26 years after his death. He was a Korean War hero and the first full-blooded Sioux to receive the Medal of Honor, the military's highest award. Keeble was a member of the Sisseton-Wahpeton Sioux tribe. The whole tribe of Washington hopes Congress will vote this year on expanding its reservation so 300 residents can move out of the flood and Tasami zone at the mouth of the Whole River. Senators Patty Murray and Maria Cantwell and Representative Norm Dix are sponsoring the legislation that would let the tribe expand its 1 square mile reservation to add 425 adjoining acres it has acquired, plus 37 acres from the Olympic National Park to its reservation. The Peninsula Daily News reports the expansion would allow the tribe to build a fire station and Tasami Evacuation Center on Highway 101, about 25 miles south of Forks, Washington. The last couple of hundred years have been cruel to Sugarloaf Mound. Quarrying nearly destroyed it in the 1880s. Construction of Interstate 55 further scarred it in the 1960s. Now, as preservationists strive to save the city's sole surviving Indian mound, they found a natural ally, the descendants of its ancient builders, the Osage tribe of Oklahoma. Sugarloaf, between the highway and the Mississippi River about 4 miles south of the Gateway Arch, is all that remains of a network of Indian earthworks that gave St. Louis the nickname Mound City. Last fall, an elderly couple who owned the 900-square-foot house on top of the mound put the property up for sale. There are 2 other houses at the base of the mound. Under a plan that tribal officials say has the support of Osage Chief Jim Gray, the tribe might buy the mound, demolish the homes, and develop the property as an interpretive center. The Osage Nation Congress, based in Pawhuska, Oklahoma, adjourned this last Wednesday without taking up a bill that authorizes the purchase. Though lawmakers aren't scheduled to convene again until September, Gray said there could be a special session as early as next month to decide whether the tribe should buy Sugarloaf. The Osage didn't build Sugarloaf, but the tribe believes its ancestors include a mound-building people that disappeared long before the arrival of Europeans in North America. The Native American boarding schools run by religious orders in the federal government more than 100 years ago were designed to simulate Indians into white America. Efforts to populate those schools ripped young children from their families and their cultures and left bitter memories of boarding schools in Native American communities. But one story of perseverance at such a school that uncovered recently by a St. Cloud University adjunct history professor who researched a local boarding school with the nation's pastime as a backdrop. The Ojibwe children who attended the St. John's Industrial School in Minnesota in the late 1880s and early 1890s formed their own baseball teams that played against local teams, including the St. John's University team. The existence of the Ojibwe teams was mostly unreported until David Law Liberty began researching Native American boarding schools. The story he tells is one of preservation among children who are forced to renounce their language and culture in favor of the Euro-American way of life. It's a story of how the young Ojibwe recreated themselves to not only survive, but to excel. Law Liberty's research not only uncovered a seldom discussed history of local baseball, but it recently was recognized by the McFarland Society for American Baseball Research as one of the best articles or papers this year on baseball history or biography. Law Liberty's article, Myth, History, and Indian Baseball, an unexpected story of the game in Minnesota, looks at those boarding schools and features one that used to be on the grounds of what is now St. John's University. And that is the latest roundup of news from Indian Country on this edition of the Native News Update. We want to thank our underwriters for helping us with this broadcast from the studios of the Indian Country Trading Post on the Courte Ojibwe Reservation. Stop in here again for the next edition soon. Miigwech for joining us.